Both in the United States and in the United Kingdom, billionaires have been a hot topic over the last few weeks. As both countries prepare for elections, there have been clear divide lines between politicians on how billionaires should be viewed and whether such unfathomable wealth should even be possible. Now, I would share my own views on the matter, but since me calling monkey chants and Nazi salutes racist was deemed as outrageous by some in recent times, I suspect that's probably unwise. Anyhow, many of the world's super rich have chosen to invest their money in sports teams over the years, sometimes as a gift to the local community they came from, and sometimes just as a plaything for those who crave attention and something to do. Over half of all Premier League clubs are owned by billionaires, so you won't make this 7 without at least 9 zeros to your net worth. Of course, net worth is for the most part just a load of nonsense, since it's incredibly difficult to estimate the wealth of the very wealthy accurately, but it's just a bit of fun. I'd like to only use Forbes so the numbers were consistent at least, but they don't value certain individuals and families who own clubs, so that isn't possible. To qualify, the individual must own more than 50% of a professional football club, so someone like Lakshmi Mittal, who only owns 11% of Queen's Park Rangers, doesn't feature. Here are the 7 richest owners in world football. Robert Kraft, $6.9 billion. Figures in this 7 are given in dollars, since that is how most net worths are reported and estimated. Poor old Robert Kraft is reportedly the poorest owner in this 7, with a measly $6.9 billion to his name. Kraft first made his fortune with the Rand Whitney Group, a company run by his father-in-law, which Kraft gained control of in 1968. He is now chairman and CEO of Kraft Group, a holding company with revenues in excess of $3.5 billion. Kraft first moved into sports team ownership when he bought the New England Patriots in 1994, and he founded Major League Soccer franchise New England Revolution the following year. New England Revolution haven't been particularly successful, but the Patriots have, and Kraft has received enormous praise for his ownership of the NFL Giants, who have played in the Super Bowl more times than any other team. Shahid Khan, $8.4 billion. Best known not for his extraordinary wealth, but for looking like a cross between Friedrich Nietzsche and Ivan Campo, Shahid Khan is an American Pakistani businessman from reasonably humble beginnings. His family moved to the United States when Khan was 16, and he too would end up buying out a company he previously worked for. Flex and Gate were the company in question with Khan, who supplied bumpers for major car manufacturers. Like Kraft, Khan owns an NFL team and an association football team, namely the Jacksonville Jaguars and Fulham. Fulham spent lots of money following promotion to the Premier League under Khan, but couldn't survive relegation. Stan Kroenke, $9.7 billion. Missouri native Enos Stanley Kroenke, better known as Stan Kroenke, is the son of a lumberjack who owned Mora Lumber Company. Kroenke began to earn real money around the time that he married Ann Walton, the daughter of Walmart co-founder Bud Walton, and an heiress to the family fortune. Kroenke formed the Kroenke Group, which began developing commercial and residential real estate. Kroenke has been involved in sports for a long time, but he expanded his stake in the St. Louis Rams to a controlling one in 2010, and he took complete control of Arsenal in 2018. Kroenke's reign at Arsenal has been fairly unpopular, with many feeling he cares more about profit margins than performances and trophies on the pitch. Philip Anschutz, $11.5 billion. Philip Anschutz is a pretty wretched human being, but without him, Major League Soccer may not still exist. At one time, Anschutz owned 6 MLS franchises, running at significant losses, playing a pivotal role in keeping the league going. Sadly, however, Anschutz is also a pretty major donor to climate change denial and the pseudo-scientific theory of intelligent design. He is the son of an oil tycoon, buying out his father's company in 1961, and he now owns LA Galaxy, Los Angeles Lakers, and Los Angeles Kings. Roman Abramovich, $12.9 billion. The owner who is most familiar with our UK audience, Roman Abramovich changed the landscape of English and world football when he arrived at Chelsea in 2003. At the time, Abramovich's spending was unprecedented, and it was also mightily effective. He has transformed Chelsea from being a very good side into one of the most successful in Europe, and all for not much more than £1 billion. A classic Russian oligarch and tycoon, Abramovich really started to make money following the rapid privatization in Russia following the fall of the Soviet Union. Abramovich had been involved in the sale of contraband, and business boomed following legalization of such products. He became very well connected politically, acquiring stakes such as his one in Sibneft, now Gazprom Neft, which were worth 5 or 6 times more than what he paid for them. Dietrich Mateschitz, $19.5 billion. There's a sizable jump up into second place, with Dietrich Mateschitz having an estimated net worth of $19.5 billion, which is more than the entire national GDP of around 55 countries. For those of you who don't know, Mateschitz is the co-founder and a 49% shareholder in Red Bull. With a degree in marketing and experience working for companies like Unilever, Mateschitz co-founded the Red Bull company, having discovered the drink in Thailand. It has become the market leader in energy drinks, making Mateschitz a very wealthy man, and Red Bull famously, or perhaps rather infamously, owns several football clubs including RB Leipzig, RB Salzburg and New York Red Bulls. Sheikh Mansour, $30 billion. Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan, better known in England simply as Sheikh Mansour, is a member of the United Arab Emirates royal family and is the richest man in football. Mansour's net worth has been estimated anywhere between $20 billion to a family fortune in excess of $1 trillion, but even the lower figure is more than enough to live comfortably, maybe even treating yourself to the odd holiday and eating out once or twice a week. The source of Mansour's wealth is, well, he's a member of the Emirati royal family, obviously, so mostly oil. He also owns stakes in media companies and various other ventures, as well as an 86.21% stake in Manchester City. Mansour's City Football Group acquired Man City back in 2008, and the club has enjoyed great success and has spent significant sums of money since then. CFG and Mansour by association also own the likes of Melbourne City, New York City, and significant stakes in Girona and Yokohama Marinos. That's it for today's video. Thank you all for watching. Go ahead and give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel if you really enjoyed it. And with Christmas coming up, if you're a football fan or you know a football fan, it might be worth checking out www.englandsgreatestdefender.com for the ideal Christmas present.